Hey, Rich. Hello, anybody else? My name is Chelsea. I attended the Texas A&M University at Corpus Christi, where Rich was actually my strength and conditioning coach. Um, During my time at Corpus and also my time in high school years of tennis, um, some things I wish I would have been better at. First of all, would have been patience. I wish I would have been way more patient with myself, with the Lord's plans in my life, and even others around me. I typically wanted to move at my own pace. I wanted things to be in my control and in my own hands. And for example, with injuries, had a bunch of different injuries here and there, and some of them would put me out for weeks, months at a time. And every time I thought to myself that this meant that I was not meant to be playing tennis. It was just a sign that I wasn't where I was meant to be, where really it was God putting me exactly where he wanted me to be, was for me to take time to humble myself and take time to really focus on things that mattered more than just the sport, to really get my spiritual act together, to get my emotional act together again, and then put my physical talents, my athletic talents together on the court. And had I been more patient with that process, I really think I would have seen a difference in whether it might be wins and losses or just overall performance. No matter how many times I lost, I really imagined that my performance and my self-satisfaction would have been higher had I had just trusted the process and been patient with where and what God wanted me to be doing at the time. I also wish I would have had more humility. I went through a time where I was homeschooled my sophomore year of high school and spent 2 hours a day in the gym and 6 to 8 hours on the court a day, and I just had this feeling of entitlement that because of all this work, I must win, I must win. And of course I didn't. This is real life. I didn't win. It wasn't some sports movie made from Disney where I put all this hard work and sweat in and I won everything I ever wanted. And that was God's way of humbling me. I felt like I just kept feeling like I was entitled. And every time that I didn't get the win, my confidence just kept getting lower and lower, as opposed to this may be God telling me, hey, yes, you've been working hard, but when you get out there on the court, on the field, wherever you might be, you have to keep putting forth that hard work. It's not just going to happen. And I learned that in high school and even throughout college, and that leads me to my next point on, are you being Christ-led or world-led? The world wants to tell us that, if you do this, you're going to get that. And if you do such and so, you're always going to get what you want, when really that's not the case at all. When you think scripturally and biblically, it's what God is going to give you. It's God serving your heart's desires, your heart's needs, your body's desires and needs, and your spiritual needs. He's going to serve those needs first, not your worldly needs. And our worldly needs are usually the trophy, to have the physique that we've wanted, to be able to bench exactly what we've wanted, where it's God's desires first, not our own. And I'm still getting better at this, and I want to keep getting better at this. And that's something I wish that high school and really college me could have been better at. Next thing I would tell you is let go of self and love others and hold on to your teammates around you. The world wants to tell us that we need more self-love, when the Bible preaches that we need to love others. We were already born with this innate nature to love ourselves and to be more selfish. And it teaches us that in obedience, we're to love others. We're to the golden rule, do unto others as you would have done unto you. Be kind to one another, accept one another, accept your distinctness, especially. When I was in high school on a high school tennis team, I always thought that because of our distinctness on the team, that was what was pulling us apart. That's why we weren't getting the success that we wanted. We weren't getting the state. We were always short of qualifying for state every year. And I always thought, well, it's because we're too different. We're all too different. 24 of us were all so different on the team. And I kept with that same mentality even into college, even though now my team is only girls on the team. And I just kept letting that distinctness put myself down. And I would even put others down around me by always thinking, well, since she wants to train this way and she wants to win this way, we're not going to work together. We can't work together. We can't be a team. But when the Bible says that let your distinctness, let the differences between one another bring strength and balance to your team, to your family, to your home, to your friendships, your relationships, whatever it might be. And that's why I also believe that, God created everybody differently, especially men and women, for example. And the world wants to tell us that we all need to be equal, that we all need to fight against this distinctness, when really the Lord wants us to embrace that distinctness between one another, our differences, and let that be our strength. Let that be what balances our teams and our homes, on and off the court or field. And then another thing along with that, there's always going to be a battle, in any area of your life, sport, job, school, home, wherever you might be, there's going to be some sort of battle, and it might be with yourself. And I wish that I had learned to embrace the battle and not battle against the battle. I always wanted to battle against it. I always wanted to fight it, or if not fight it, if I couldn't fight it, then I ran away from it. And I wish I would have just embraced it and enjoyed the battle and take it as, this is God's way of testing me, because he believes that I'm strong enough to handle it. And whatever trials or battles that you might be going against, it's because he knows that you're able to overcome them, because you have the Lord. You have the strength of God on your side. You have the strength and love of Jesus Christ with you. And that's all you need to embrace and overcome any battle you might be experiencing in your life. And I wish that, like Richard had asked me, if I were to go back to high school Chelsea, what would I have told myself? And these are all things I would have told myself, is to be more patient, trust the process, humility. I'm not entitled to anything at the end of the day. I could work as hard as anybody else. I could work as hard as the girl on the other side of the court from me, but I truly don't even know that. You don't know how hard your opponents have been working. They may have been working just as hard as you and believe that they deserve the title just as much, but we're not entitled to anything. We're entitled to what God is giving us right now. And he's letting us wake up another day. And we still don't even deserve that, actually. Leadership. Are you Christ-led, or are you letting the world lead you? Let Christ lead you. If you have coaches and strength trainers that are Christ-filled and loving people, then let them lead you, and therefore you're being Christ-led, and then you lead others, and now they're Christ-led, and it just keeps going. It's a whole chain of Christ-led people and Christ-leading people. Let go of yourself and hold on to others. Let your distinctness among you and your teammates be something that is a strength. Learn from one another, build from one another. Use that as your strengths to balance your team out. And lastly, love others. I know I've said this a lot of time. Love others. Let go of self-love and love others. Don't let the world tell you who you're supposed to love. Let the Bible tell you who you're supposed to love. Let the Bible tell you who you're supposed to obey. And I'm not perfect in these things. I heard a quote the other day that there is room for improvement, not perfection. So focus on that. There's always room for improvement. If you're always shooting for perfection, your patience is going to run out, because there's no such thing as perfection in this world. The only perfection that lived on this earth was Jesus Christ. And all we can do is shoot to love as best and as close as we can to what he's done for us. So that's all I have to say, keeping it short and brief. God bless every single one of you. And thanks for listening. Bye.